Uh-oh, what happened? Sorry, guys. I am clearly not ready today, am I? There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry I'm so late. I totally forgot that Vince had a appointment this morning, and I scheduled this, and then Vince said, "Oh, you're gonna be late." So but I appreciate you hanging out and, you know, uh, being patient, bearing with me. Give me 1 second to make sure that I'm actually here, because I might not be, for all I know. Um, Come on, computer. Okay, looks like I am. We're good. Okay, so hello again, everyone. I know since I'm late, there's probably like nobody here right now. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Sasha. Eileen's not here, but hello. Hello, Cheryl. Uh, yeah. So thank you again for being patient with me while I was super late. I will make sure to check my calendar before scheduling another one. So, yeah, today, guys, I am actually working on a couple of little paintings that I've been fiddling around with for a few days. They might turn out to be nothing, but they might turn out to be something. You never know until you try. Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, Tammy. Uh, yeah. Sorry, I'm still kind of unsure of how to do this. It's almost like I've never done it before, which is weird because I do it like weekly. Um, anyway, I am going to be working on, well, it's so awesome to see all of you too. I'm very happy to see you. Uh, I am going to be working on these that, like I said, I've been working on them on and off for a few days. They're kind of an experiment in brushwork. In my membership group, we are doing like a year-long class, and with each month being a different theme. And last month we did mark making. And so I've been really focusing on my mark making and trying to, just switch things up a bit. And also trying to use colors that I don't usually use together or too often at all. So these may turn out to be nothing, but they may turn out to be totally legit. But we won't know until we get there. Um, Hello, hello, everyone. I'm so happy to see you all. Thank you, thank you. I'm sorry it's been so long. Um, this year has started out with some good old fashioned bad luck. So we had like on the first, our water main broke in our house. This is an Inktense pencil. I like to use these sometimes to like determine my composition. Um, yeah, our water main broke in our house. We didn't have water for almost 2 weeks. Then Vince was injured pretty badly, hence the doctor's appointment today. And it's just been like one thing after the other. I had planned on coming back right at the beginning of the year, like first week of January. And clearly that didn't happen. But I'm here now, and when I posted on YouTube that I was going to go live today, um, I had several people, like I usually do when I post, and I understand several people say, they miss my tutorials, they miss the beginner stuff. And I want you to know that while I might be done doing that, um, there's a lot of reasons, and we can go into some of those if you want. Um, but while I believe I'm done doing tutorials at least regularly, I still want to be able to provide things for you guys that you want and you need. So, without giving away too much information right now, lost audio. Can you guys hear me okay? I see my audio, so it looks like I'm good, but let me know. Um, I do have something in the works, a little plan. I'm not going to give away too much of it that will potentially bring more step by step tutorials to you guys. Um, and it actually involves some of you guys. In fact, one person in this chat in particular sprang to mind immediately. So uh, just be on the lookout for that. I will have some more information coming soon. It's something I just came up with today, so I don't have a lot of planning that's gone on yet. So I can't really give you too much info just yet. But yeah, I am thinking about you guys and the things that you want and the things that you need, and finding a way that I can get those for you, whether it's something I can do or not. So, but anyway, everybody tell me how your year has been so far. What's new with you guys? It's not just all about me. I want to hear from you guys. Look how cool the uh, Inktense pencil is. Just using a little matte medium and water, and it like smears it and gives you this really cool, like clumpy tree look. It's kind of fun. Um, yeah, I do want to. My plan is to get back doing live things at least semi weekly. I don't know. Right now, I don't know if I can guarantee that it will be a weekly thing, but it is my goal. Um, and we'll see where it evolves. I might be, not really teaching a lot right now as far as like tutorials go, but I'm open to, our little get-togethers here evolving and becoming something else. So, you know, stick with me. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, and um, understand that there's some things that I probably can't do, but that doesn't mean that I won't take care of you guys. Over these last, I don't know, over the last year or so, I've really been trying to uh, experiment and kind of just change the way I do some things. I get really bored with the way I do things, which I think is probably a very normal thing for artists. Do you guys ever get bored of like colors that you always gravitate to, or subject matter, or just always doing something the same way. Do you ever get bored of that? And what kind of things do you do to try and shake it up? I've been bringing um, alternate materials into my art sometimes, like the Inktense pencils here, charcoal. I got some really cool crayons. Let me see. I'll grab them and show you guys. They're super fun. Don't use them a ton just yet, but I keep bringing them out. So eventually they're going to make their way in. Where did they go? Oh, they're clear over there. Anyway, they're basically crayons. They're called aquarelle, and they go on like a crayon, and then you put water on it, and it is kind of like watercolor, but it's super, super vivid. Let me grab them. So these are the ones that I have. Has anybody else ever used these? Tammy, you've used these before, right? So let's see. I can probably use some in here. Let's find a color that'll be good. Let's. Oh, you haven't used them? Oh, they seem like something you would really like. Yeah. Okay. So just have this little crayon, and I want to brighten up the sky a little bit. Just get a bit more of a glow to it, a little bit of warmth. And then you can use matte medium or just water. I'm just going to use water. Yeah, absolutely. You can use them over acrylic. You have some, Carol? What colors do you have? They're so much fun to use, and they work really good with acrylic. Only thing about them is they do re-wet, so as you layer on top of them, they're gonna mix with your paints a little bit. That's not a bad thing. It's just something to keep in mind, something to remember. Let's get a little more here. Oh yeah. So in chat, Bush 357 says, when I'm bored or stuck, I go to Van Gogh paintings and do color studies to change it up to colors I like. Gets me out of my head. Absolutely. I do similar things. A lot of times the artists I gravitate to are like uh, JMW Turner, or I just totally went completely brain non-existent. But yeah, I have a handful of artists that I do that with also. I really like that yellow in here. They're nice and transparent, so they glaze kind of over everything else. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Mostly greens? Nice. Well, hello, Curly Whirly. Nice. Yeah, I love these. I love these crayons. My only complaint is there's got to be one, right? There's got to be like a single complaint. My only complaint is the colors seem a little limited and they're very saturated. So I guess, you kind of have to create your own mixes as you go, which is fine. It's just more work. Um, I've gotten to the point with my layering that I use a lot of convenience colors just because my technique is so involved as it is. The last thing I need to do is start mixing up like extreme color combinations, like 50 colors all together. And I can just grab a tube and use that. This one was not bright enough. That's better. That yellow made him feel kind of deserty, didn't it? Um, Suki got stale in your paintings. Oh no. That's a cool idea, painting them as animals. So the music in my videos was, you know, I think kind of a comfort thing. Especially when I first started, I was self-conscious. Um, I didn't like being in front of a camera or, anything. And so I think it just made me really self-conscious. And somehow the music seemed to help with that. Uh, it just didn't feel like such dead air. Right now, while I'm live, it's a little more taxing on my computer to play music while I'm painting. So, and I'm not nervous. So, um, okay. Oh, I really like that yellow, man. That was a good choice. I did have some yellow in here previously, but I ended up glazing it out. I need to work on that ground a little bit. Um, so yeah, any of you guys who are regular painters who, feel like you're kind of finding your stride, I want you to stay tuned because I'm talking to you. Oops, hope I don't need that color. Uh, yeah, I might have something cool for you soon. I know I was not going for a desert, but I'm not angry at it. That's pretty good. I do need to get this ground going though. I just have nothing going on the ground. Hey guys, I want you all to tell me what you've been doing artistically this year, even if it's nothing. There's no shame in that. This is just about the most I've done this year. I haven't painted much at all this year, for exact same reasons that I haven't been here with you at all this year. But I think doing these live events with you guys is gonna help me kind of get back to it, to try and get back to making it a regular thing. You know, I look through my Instagram account at some of the posts I was making a few years ago, and I'm just blown away with how much painting I was doing, and like the type of paintings I was doing, and then cranking them out just like one right after the other, and they weren't little paintings. And now it's like it's all I can do to, you know, bust out these little guys here and there. So it's it's been a challenge. Oh, Sasha's catching up with homework. Excellent. Dang it, I didn't put out homework for this last Sunday. Sorry, guys. I promise I'll get to that. Um, Matt Matt's goal this year is to make time for any kind of art. That's a great goal. Um, yeah, Cheryl working full time leaves little time to paint. I understand that. Um, yeah, do what you can, even if it's just carrying around a little sketchbook or something with you. Just find time to exercise that muscle a little bit so that it remembers what it feels like to make art. Yeah, my mom's been painting her watercolor calendar. It's looking pretty cool. August, I didn't know you were that far. I can't wait to see those. Top one looks like, yeah, it does kind of look a little smoky, doesn't it? Oh, Tammy, I know you've had a bit of a dry spell. I hope you're coming out of it. Are you doing, are you using gesso or not gesso, gouache or digital for your spell break? Zentangles, those are so cool. I always see those and I'm like, oh, maybe I should try that. And then I realize that I would not stick with it very long because that's how I am. And I'd end up with Zentangle books and pens all over my house and I wouldn't be using them. And then my husband would be irritated because they would just join all the other doom piles in my house. They're not looking too bad. Sorry, that was probably loud. You're revamping old paintings? Tell me about that. What are you doing? Are you doing that thing where you like buy paintings at the like at the thrift store and then add add things to them? Digital and acrylic. Oh wow. You haven't done acrylic for a hot minute, have you? That's exciting. I'm glad you're getting back into it. Okay. Gosh, I kind of like that. I'm digging this sky here. Let's play into that just a little bit more. So that yellow and probably the Inktense pencil is gonna re-wet and lift a little bit um, when I paint on top of it. Just fine. You just have to know. You just have to kind of plan for that. What do I want to use? Another thing I've been doing Oh, thank you, Dory. Um, is it fair to say that when I introduced the yellow, I actually emphasized the negative space? Absolutely. Absolutely, Sasha. Did you watch Sunday's class already? Because we talked about that. Yeah, absolutely. Especially in this area and in this area. There's not a ton going on in this one, but so I might have to change that a little, get a little more negative space in there. But one other thing that I've been doing lately to kind of uh, typically do is using old brushes, like cruddy old brushes. So, like, this is an old, it's just a Utrecht natural bristle brush. I don't know if you can see. It's so old and like the end is all wonky and stupid. And this is an old junky artist loft brush that I like cut a ton of it out and then uh, like scrubbed it out on sandpaper so it gives me some nice messy looks. Oh, and then this one. This is my favorite brush right now. So this was like a crappy, I don't even know where this brush came from, Art Advantage. So it was a junky brush and I cut this brush so much. You see that? I like cut a whole half of it out. And I love this brush. I use it so much. So if you guys are interested, let me know. We can do like a brush making video. Um oh cool. That's awesome, Bush. Good for you. Glorabelle, hello. How are you? Been doing some watercolor? Oh, that's awesome. 4 years ago. Heck yeah. Thank you, thank you. All right, so let's use this junky old brush. I want to work on the ground and the sky, but I don't want real brush marky looking bits. So that's why I chose this kind of garbagey brush. So really what I see going on here, like what I want to do for you guys from here on out is kind of be a little bit more of like help you with technique, help you with thought process, things like that. I said to someone on Facebook yesterday when they were asking about tutorials, I said that I was moving past that because I kind of feel like if you rely on tutorials alone, that's it. No, nothing else. That it can be a little bit stunting to your growth as an artist. Now, if you don't want to, like, it sounds accusatory. I'm not trying to be accusatory. Everybody has different goals, and that's okay. If you're if you're more just wanting to paint and have fun and you're not really worried about like becoming a professional artist or you know kicking it up into a different level, you just want to paint and enjoy, there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing tutorials. But I think that if you want to reach new heights with your art, I think that you have to move beyond tutorials at some point. And so that's what I kind of want to do is be that for you, like help you with those things that you don't always get a lot of instruction on with tutorials, like development and even business, like if you want to get your art into a gallery, or if you want to start your own YouTube channel. Hint, hint. Um, things like that. That's the kind of thing that I feel like I really want to bring to you guys. Um, I don't think it necessarily means there's never going to be another tutorial of any kind. I mean, if I feel so inspired, I might. I did one recently for my members. Um, we had a conversation one day about like repainting old old paintings that we had done before, and I decided to redo my rainy window. So I did that recently. So that was fun. And I could see doing something like that again. You guys got real quiet when I started talking about tutorials. But tell me, what is it that you guys like? What is it that you want? Is there, like, do you want just tutorials? Do you want some like technique and inspiration? Do you want some business? Like, what are your goals and what are you coming to YouTube to look for art wise? I know that looks garbage. I'm not terribly worried about it. This one needs this one needs a little something different anyway. This one's not working real well. And when it's not working real well, we scribble. Because if it's already bad, it can't get worse. That actually should be interesting. Nobody has anything. Let's see. I think that's too light. Has anyone here ever considered starting a YouTube channel? Pretty sure I've talked to at least one person in this chat about that before. Just give that some distance there. Excellent. Thanks, Joan. And you know, I've got some things in my personal life that I think are kind of the primary reason I stepped away from making tutorials. And at this moment, I feel like that's just a part of my life that's over and done with. Um, I have I have a lot of anxiety. I think we've talked about that before. That's not a surprise. I've got a lot of anxiety and some pretty serious burnout. And I think that I feel like it took a lot of things away from me in that regard. But um, yeah, Matt thinks about it sometimes. Excellent. Hello, Patricia. To do painting, Matt, or something else? Um, anyway, I recently was diagnosed as quite profoundly ADHD, and that made a lot of sense to me as far as like part of the reason that I've had a hard time working or that I feel like I can't work anymore making videos and stuff. And I actually will be starting medication later this week. And so I'm really hoping that that helps take a lot of that stress off of me, or those anxieties, or whatever, so that I can step back into at least some of that role a little bit more. Um, I recognize, that the burnout I've experienced is absolutely tied to some ADHD stuff. So, yeah, I just need to get that taken care of and we'll see where we're going from there. This one, I'm going to skip it for a minute. Hello, Vicky. Yeah, you guys are gloating about that, aren't you? Oh, thank you so much, Grant. That means a lot to me. Hello, Krista. Welcome. Thank you. Maybe this one just wants to be crazier. Maybe that's what's happening here. It's saying I'm a little too status quo. So maybe we'll get nutso on this one. I think the amount of pink on these canvases is stressing me out. It's a lot of pink for me. But I recently got just absolutely smitten by a new color. And now I just want to use it in every single painting I do. And I can't find it. Oh, that's right here in front of my face. Um, this Naphthol pink. Oh, I can't get enough of this color. It looks more orangey in the camera there. It's not so orange. This is truer to what it looks like. I'm gonna break this. Yeah, no difference between the sky and the ground. Maybe a hint of that here too. Yeah, yeah, I don't want an adult today either. It is exhausting. It's awful. Had to adult this morning, so I think I'm done for the day. Just break that too. Okay. I think these need to dry before I can do too much more on them. Uh, that one's okay. I need to do some glazing. Um, yeah, let's go with this color. Whoop. There we go. Very, very, very lightly over that. Oh, yeah, it's mixing with that yellow crayon. That's nice. Hello, um, Pik Pikimisu. Hello. Sometimes screen names are are a pain because I never know if I'm gonna say it wrong or call somebody something that they're not wanting to be called or whatever. Oh, is it very different now, Tammy? Thank you, Grant. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I know that, not everybody makes that decision, and that's cool. Like I think we all have different needs and, need different amounts and types of support. And, I know that being diagnosed at my ripe old age, um, it I know what I can handle and what I can't because I've been handling it my whole life. And yeah, so when I was told to go get medication, I was like, you do not have to tell me twice. Man, I'm not hating these, but they sure don't feel like me, do they? All right, now all that messy light color is going to get integrated with a glaze. So, guys, when I've told you before, um, learn to think, a step ahead or two steps ahead. It's okay if that scribbly white stuff looks terrible because I know I'm going to glaze over it, which is going to reintegrate it into the image and it's going to make it agree and, look great. So I don't worry about little things like that. So that's what I mean by, learn to think two steps ahead. So you may do something like this junk here and think, oh, I've ruined it. This is awful. But I doubt it. I doubt you've ruined it. Um, oh, excellent, Nancy. Oh, I love it when I convert someone to glazing. Um, oh, nice, 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 Matt. Congratulations. Yeah, I've heard all the magic stories, and I'm like, oh, I really want that. I want that magic in my life. All right, so again, talking about this garbagey, scribbly stuff here. Let's make it look intentional. Just reintegrating that into the bushes and stuff. Now it'll kind of look like highlights or something. Um, I have done a little bit of glazing with acrylic ink. Um, Not a lot. In my experience, and it's probably just the way I'm using the ink, um, I have never been terribly impressed with the way ink interacts with acrylic paint in on a canvas. Now, when I paint my little houses that you've seen before, Tammy, I use ink glazes almost exclusively on those. And I will start with an acrylic base and then paint the ink on top of it. But on a canvas, I'm sure I just did something wrong. Sorry. There's a child walking past my house, I'm sure, and she's got to protect us. But yeah, it is possible. I just wasn't terribly impressed with how it came out for me. Oh, thank you, Joanne. That's so sweet. After dusk at a beach with sand dunes, I was kind of getting a little bit of that too. Yeah, it does look a little beachy. I like that. All right. So see now it's highlights on the trees and whatever. I'm gonna break out my weird ugly brush that I showed you is like one of my favorites now. I'm gonna break it out here in just a minute. The one that I cut like half of its head off. Mike has trouble knowing when to stop in a painting. Yep. You know when to stop when you know when to stop. That is such a hard question, but it's a really great one. So we'll talk about that for a minute. Um, I used to have the same problem, but how I feel like I overcame that, knowing when to stop, is by developing a very specific process. Like, you know, my my process is very deliberate. So, simply put, my process starts with my underpainting, which you can see glowing out from under here, all this bright. I actually used Golden's fluorescent red. That's my underpainting. So I start with that, and then I'll like scribble in my elements with a dark color. And then I scribble in my light elements. And then I start glazing. And I have a very specific back and forth that I typically do with glazing and then element building, which is kind of what I'm doing right now is element building. the trees and everything. And I think when you get a when you've developed your process and you always know what comes next in your process, I think it helps inform your painting when it's done and when it isn't. I also, like I said, ADHD here. When I get bored of a painting or when I look at it and I'm like, I can't think of anything else to do, it's done. Sign it, move on. So, but always, if you're not sure, if you're working on something and your brain says, I don't know if I'm done or not, then here's what you should do: take that painting and put it away. And by away, I mean, stick it in a drawer, lean it up against the wall, facing the wall. Don't look at it, don't think about it. Like, give it some time. Whether it's a couple of days or a couple of years, whatever. Give it time. Just move away from it. Let yourself kind of forget what it looks like, what your plans were for it. Just forget about it. And then when you come back to it, you will be able to see it better for what it is rather than what your idea of it was. Um, so let's see. Do I have it over here? My members know because they were a part of it. Let me see if I can find it. One sec. Well, is that it? There she is. Okay. So this painting I did that with. I had been working on it for a long time. I had a very specific idea of what I needed it to look like. And it just wasn't working out. And I wasn't sure what else I should do, if I should scrap it, if it was good, if it was bad, whatever. So I kind of left it for a long time. I think start to finish, it was a little over a year. So I left it for quite a while. But when I came back to it after letting it sit, I pretty much knew exactly how I wanted to finish it. And I think that it was the perfect finish for it. So this is the painting that I was talking about. And it was down to her eyes. Like everything else about her face was working great, but her eyes were not. And I was kind of getting into a gold foil. I don't know. I was using a lot of gold foil. And so when I was doing a live thing like this with my members, I had the idea for this and I asked them and they said yes. So I went with it and I'm really pleased with how that turned out. So just give yourself time. Give yourself time away from it. You're welcome. Um, these are getting there. I want to go a little more aggressive with that yellow in the sky. Not super aggressive, just a little more. Of course, my paint is all jellied up. That's a bit much, but it's okay. There we go. Much better. How long we been going? I don't want to keep you guys too late. All right, we've been going for almost an hour, so I'm just going to finish this yellow and then I'll probably let you guys go. But I want you guys to know that I super enjoy hanging out with you always, and I absolutely want to make this more of a regular thing. So hopefully you guys are with me on that. This one is still just, it might get scrapped. That's why I like painting in threes, right? I've got 3 times the chance of being successful at a painting. If one of them doesn't turn out, still have 2 others. This top one, though, this one's kind of doing the thing. I'm enjoying this one. And my members, we will be doing, um, we'll be doing another live uh, this week. It'll probably be Friday because I have things tomorrow and Thursday, but I'm free on Friday. So if you guys are free on Friday, then I hope to see you then. All right, I gotta give these paintings a break because, like I was saying, not quite sure what's going on with them yet. So just take some time away from them. Um, so anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. I appreciate you all hanging out with me so much. It really means a lot to me. Like I said, make sure that you're following me on at least Facebook. Um, I don't post on Instagram a whole lot. Instagram stresses me out for some reason. Um, but follow me on Facebook because I think pretty soon I'm gonna put out my idea that I'm concocting, and it might involve you. So, well, I'm so happy to see you too, Tammy. So, all right, everyone, I love you so much, and I will see you again. I'm just gonna say next week for sure. So I'll see you then. Bye.